Hello, everybody, and welcome to our latest installment. I just had to check to see if my microphone was down on this headset. This is our latest installment of Retro Championship Wrestling coming to you on a Saturday night, so you will probably see this late in the evening. To quote Paul Simon of the 1980s, and we have a Southern card with 9 bouts. All these cards in the grid system. We're all going to have 9 matches. The tag team matches will be first. The single matches, not for titles, will be second. And then we have a non-title bout between Paul Jones and George Kidd. It will be the Southern champ against the Eastern champ. Neither title at stake, and it'll be a 30-minute bout. Kind of an exhibition. For the Southern Tag titles, we're going to have a babyface match. Dos Caras and Mil Mascaras taking on Jay Youngblood and Ricky Steamboat. And in our main event, we have the Rock and Roll Express, the World Tag Team Champs, facing the Kalmikoffs, who will be led by the Kalmikoffs' latest charge, Uncle Ivan Koloff. And you might remember last week they won the not the indie tag titles off the Hart Foundation, who we will be seeing later in this card against Andre the Giant and Dusty Rhodes. So on to our first bout of the evening. It's the British Bulldogs. A little bit of heel heat now with the Bulldogs, as you might recall in our last card, it was Davey Boy Smith interfering in a bout between Dynamite Kid and Boris Malenko that would have given Dynamite Kid, no, it was Dynamite Kid. He was going to get a world title shot had he won, but Davey Boy Smith could see no more of Boris Malenko cheating on the Dynamite Kid, so he intervened. And the referee, quite rightly, said that it was Davey Boy Smith who came in and caused the disqualification. So this bout, the Bulldogs are 0-2-1 coming in, but this is the first bout in the 6-bout contract you have in the tag contender grid. And the Redheads are 1-2-2. They just got a double countout with the Medics. And the Bulldogs just drew with the Blackjacks not too long ago. So the Bulldogs looking for their first win in this, their 4th bout. And the Redheads, a good team, but they are trying to rebound themselves after some disappointment. So let's get this bout started. And we're underway with our Southern card. So the Southern region kind of represents Lucha Libre, but not entirely. We start with a press slam by Davey Boy Smith, leads to a pin attempt, but was quickly aborted. And these two teams just going at it right from the get-go, both aggressively seeking the win here, because the win gets you 2 points, and you need 6 to advance to the next 6-week contract cycle. And those who fail to get the 6 points will be blacklisted until we cycle through all of the tag teams. And should there be a cycle where we do not have a sufficient number of tag teams, we're going to add a few. And that's how we will handle debuts from here on out. And once we have gone through everybody, everybody will be given a new chance, and we will just repeat the process. And we are 10 minutes into this bout. The Redheads, Red Bastien, Billy Red Lion, doing well. But we'll see if this continues. So this is the first bout of a 6-week contract for each. Oh, and we have a cut. We have a cut on Dynamite Kid. As this bout getting hot and heavy, it was Red Bastien sending Dynamite Kid to a ringside table, and as somebody from Florida would say about this time on a Saturday evening, uh, it is Dynamite Kid's face rapidly becoming a crimson mask. Pardon me, folks. Ella, please go down. Thank you. So I am just writing up what happened. 1404. So Redhead's doing well. The Bulldog's not so well. Billy Redlinens, I remember for being a commentator for the Canadian versions of WWF wrestling back in the mid 80s. I think he got slapped once by Roddy Piper. Oh, a slam and a flying headbutt, and that nearly gives the Bulldogs a come from behind win. We have a little over 10 minutes to go. Snap suplex by Davy Boy. No, I take that back. That was Dynamite Kid showing tremendous strength, but not to be. Bulldogs making a comeback of note. And Ella has joined me at the desk, and you'll see her in a moment. I might have to carry recording of these bouts over to tomorrow, Sunday. But we started on a Saturday night. Time running out in this one. Flying head scissors by Billy Red. No, take that back. That was Red Bastien. But we're down to the waning moments. And this is going to be a draw. A draw. 30 minutes. Ella, would you excuse me a moment? I'm just going to hold you here for a moment. And I'm going to show you to our cameras. Hello, everybody. This is my color commentator, Ella. Ella is not pleased with me at the moment because, oh, I got a scratch on my arm. Okay, I didn't know that. Ella's not too pleased with me, as you can see, because I picked her up and she was playing on the table. So how did I get that? Oh, well. Oh, well. Let me just be, let me see, let me see. Eh. All in a day's work when you deal with cats. So let's finish up this bout. And Ella's going to come up here again in a minute. Both teams battled valiantly. But this goes to a draw. So draw, 30 minutes. When we get to nighttime, Ella gets very jealous of me when I don't give her attention, and she'll go around and she'll go to the other side of my little TV monitor here. So if she starts getting rowdy, I'll just have to carry this over to tomorrow. And the Bulldogs led in pin tries 9-8. So one bout down and 8 to go. Am I over on the right scene? Yes, I am. So let's go over and do our second bout. I changed the rules in terms of absenteeism. I just say if you draw 100, then you're a no-show and you lose your match by default. But that didn't happen. Instead of just having the highest number just be sick, because Maybe the sickness didn't matter. Maybe the sickness made that respective team or grappler focus. So this is going to be a good second bout. Black Gordman and Goliath against Demolition, who were, at least a couple of times that I can remember, the WWF Tag Team Champions. Demolition has started 0-1-1, so they have gone 2 bouts without a win. Gordman and Goliath 1-1-2, and they have gone 2 bouts without a loss. So this ought to be a pretty interesting contest. And off we go, bout number 2 of 9. We have a lot of bouts where either heels are facing each other or baby faces are facing each other. And it's Demolition out of the gate doing well. Oh, and we have outside interference. It's probably Demolition Crush. It was X Smash and Crush. But X and Smash were the two in the ring. So it's Gordman and Goliath by DQ, and that counts as a full pointed win for Gordman and Goliath for our contract purposes. They will rack up the points, and the Demolition will have to get 6 points in 5 bouts. 18-66, and not a great bout. Okay, on to bout number 3, and this is a most interesting bout. I guess if Gorilla Monsoon was calling this would be the irresistible force of a tag team, the Hart Foundation battling immovable objects in the form of Andre the Giant and Dusty Rhodes, 2 babyface teams. I will make the Foundation tweeners because I think after they lost the indie tag titles, they got a little chip on their shoulder and they want to come out and prove their worth against a team that we don't often see, but they made the top 40, so they get picked. The Foundation come in with a loss against the Kalmikoffs. They went 5-1-3 in their first 9. And Andre and Dusty were counted out by the Midnight Express in their first bout, which was in the Indies. So we'll see if the bulk of Andre and Dusty carries the day for them here. Okay, first attempt at the Hearts. Flying punch, we'll say by Bret Hart. I almost wanted to use the Hart Foundation as heel. They're a little bit of a better team as heels. Ring shaking body slam, so I will say that Dusty did that to Jim Neidhart. Another pin attempt. So the Harts are using their speed to try to counterman the bulk of the tag team of Andre and Dusty, who were tag champions in Florida, but of course, you know, Andre couldn't hold a belt, so I think they were champs one night. Thinking it was like a tournament in Gainesville at the University of Florida Arena, the O'Connell Summit. I don't know if the O'Connell was built in the early 80s yet, but Andre went everywhere, so you just couldn't, you know, give him a championship. A lot of near pin attempts in this bout. It's very close. We've had 5 by Andre Dusty, 4 by the Harts. Nope. Okay, we're 13:45, 14 minutes in, and yeah, it's close. And yes, the Hart Foundation, they had a little bit of an edge to them And they get disqualified. The Hearts have lost 2 in a row after being the Indie Tag Team Champions. But it's their first loss in the 6-bout contender grid that they are in. And Andre and Dusty pick up a quick 2 points towards their 6. So let's give you the particulars on that bout. It went 14-23. And Andre and Dusty pick up their first win. And we go on to singles competition here on the Southern card here in RCW. And this will be another interesting bout. It'll be Gory Guerrero, who took the junior heavyweight champion of the time, which was Antonio Inoki, to the limit. And he's going to face David Von Erich. And since Von Erich is not really in his home territory, let's see, his heel card is 127. We'll use his space card, but kind of make him a tweener here. And this, of course, is a 30-minute bout. Yeah, he he took Antonio Inoki, I think, very deep into a 60-minute time limit bout. Went like 50 minutes plus, if I remember correctly. He got a draw with Chris Tolos in an earlier bout, and Von Erich's only bout was a loss there. UFC whiz Gary Albright. So both men looking for their first win. One loss on a draw for Guerrero and one loss for David Von Erich. And on we go. First try was a submission there by Gory, but it was quickly countered. Leg drop by David Von Erich, who did have a heel run in Florida under the tutelage of Dory Funk Jr. I think they were grooming him for the NWA championship before his life was tragically cut short. And they needed him when you were the NWA champion. You needed to be a babyface one night and a heel the next, and be interchangeable between the two. Oh, and we have an arm injury, but David will recover before his next bout next week. So it looked like David tweaked his arm. We'll say his left arm. So on this Saturday evening, as I record this, we hope you are well. I should turn my little light on here, because by the time we're done with this, it'll probably be close to sunset. Flying headbutt does not garner a pin result. Snaps to play by David Von Erich, who probably has a very much a height advantage here. And he's got a slight lead as we head into the bottom half of this bout. He's leading in pin tries 3-2. Another pin try by Von Erich. Nope. Face rake by Gory. Gory is fighting fire with fire. Remembering my David Byrne lyrics from The Talking Heads. A senton tried by Gory, but Von Erich quickly out of the way. Side roll by David. Just missing a pin. And we're nearing the end of it's a Gory special, but that is not going to get a submission. Another side roll try by David. Nope. I'm thinking this is going to be a draw. Flying clothesline. Gory gives a control. And specially move. No, the Iron Claw cannot succeed because the bell is already rung. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I accidentally hit yes, so we'll say both guys agreed to keep going. And we'll see how long this bout goes. Sorry about that, folks. An unscheduled extension of the time limit. So we'll go till somebody wins. Let me just mark that down. An unexpected development here on Retro Championship Wrestling. Neither man wants to draw. Both men want to try to get a win here. There we go. Clothesline. This has turned into quite a bout. Oh, and Guerrero is finally cut. Chair shot to the head. David losing his patience. And that does not sit well with the fans here in the southern region. So Von Erich turning up the aggression. Let's see if Guerrero has a counter. This has been nip and tuck all the way through. We're now closing in on 45 minutes. They will continue until there is a winner. Corey with 9 pin attempts and David with 6. This will be close to a 5-star bout if it doesn't become one. Small package. And Gory has done it. Gory defends his honor here and gets the pin over Von Erich. And he was wise to gamble to extend the time limit, which we accidentally did. And a big win for Gory Guerrero, picking up those 2 well-needed points. Okay, so that is now 4 bouts down as my keyboard is going a little wonky. Let me just save this, and we move to our next bout. It'll be El Charlo Aguayo, who we see there. I think this would be a junior heavyweight bout against Mark Rollerball Rocco, but it counts just the same. As I hear some ambulances going up the main drag, just about 25 feet behind me here in the camper. Okay, so it's Aguayo facing Rocco. And it was both these men have yet to win here in RCW. It was Charo Aguayo drawing with Karloff Lagarde, and Rocco had a pinfall loss to the Dynamite Kid in a recent bout. Both these men are going to rely on their speed. So this should be a fast-moving bout. After this, we have Alkanik taking on the former two-time Eastern champ Roland Bach. So we're underway in this, our fifth bout tonight of 9. I will pause very briefly, stop tape, and do the tabulations on the first 6 bouts, and then we'll come back with our non-title title holder against title holder bout, and then our 2 championship matches after that. La Mesadora for Aguayo. I have no clue what that is. And the pins are not as fast as furious as you would think, but I would imagine with the bout, if the bout goes past 20-25 minutes, you might see that change. A toe hold does not gain the submission. Rocco looks a little worse for wear at this point, at least in terms of fatigue, whereas Aguayo seems to have better stamina, although he has taken more damage and more pin attempts. We're more than halfway through this bout. Scoop power slam countered by Charlo Aguayo. Side roll by Aguayo, but that does not trigger a pin try. And nice little supplé there out of Mark Rocco. And Aguayo throwing Rocco out of the ring. But Rocco comes back in. They battle some more. Now it's pretty much an even-steven out, although Rocco has more pin attempts, and he is getting fatigued faster than Charo Aguayo is. And Rocco got introduced to the ring post by Charo Aguayo, and he has a cut late in this bout. So now can Rocco get out of here with the draw? He tries that scoop power slam. He went to his big move right away, but Charo Aguayo gets out of that. Backslide and a pin and clutch win for Charo Aguayo as he gets that at 29-21. 39 seconds left in the time limit. So that cut kind of sealed the fate of Rollerball Mark Rocco. A good bout, 3.5 stars. Aguayo has won his first bout. He's on a 2-match streak without a loss. And Rocco has picked up his second defeat. And now, on to our 6th and last lower profile bout, because we have a non-title bout between 2 champions. Kind of an interesting bout. It's going to be Alkanik facing Roland Bach. Bach, being the foreigner, will be a tweener here, we'll say. And he is the former 2-time Eastern champion. And he is 8-4, but he's on a 3-match loss streak. But the competition that he has lost to, pretty good. Murcielago Velasquez twice, who was at one point the Eastern tag champ before he lost to George Kidd. And his other loss was to Horst Hoffman, who he avenged. I believe that was one of the runs he had for the Eastern Championship. Alkanik pulled off a big win over Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, before Austin won the title out west, the Western Championship, over Jack Briscoe. So this will be an interesting test for both men. Let's see if Koenig can make it to the next level in RCW competition. Belly to back suplex right away for Bach. But that does not result in a 3 count. Koenig, not afraid to be aggressive. He's got that carotid artery cinched up, but the pin attempt is not going to work that early. Both these guys have good stamina for heavyweights. They have a stamina where that you see Koenig's number here, 37.4. That means when the 37 points go, the stamina goes, the pin rating goes up 4. So you're about to see Bach lose some stamina. Flying forearm. In fact, that just happened, and no pin. So Koenig seems to have better cardiovascular conditioning. Bach was in a movie, I think it was Hurricane Rosie, with Gerard Depardieu, following around a female wrestler in Europe. I think more regionally France. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. And, you know, a Depardieu movie is going to have some nudity in it. And this is about dead even. In fact, the pin attempts are even, and the damage accrued is not too far apart. I'm thinking this might be no. It's a double count out as tempers flare outside the ring, and I don't mean Ric Flair. So they will each pick up a point at 1917, which I hear was a very good year. So that is 6 bouts down and 3 to go. I will be back almost immediately with our title against title, non-title bout, and our Southern Tag title bout, and our World Tag Team title bout right after this. You are watching, live and in color, the Southern Circuit of Retro Championship Wrestling, and I will be back almost immediately. Going to tabulate some figures. So, folks, we are resuming recording of this RCW episode at 12:17 on Sunday afternoon. I'm in and out today, so I'm hoping I can get these 3 bouts in, and I can edit when I get back from an outing I'm going on to my friend's house to watch the Rays game with the Miami Marlins. Let me just first tell you that the plan is tomorrow, Monday, the 8th of June, 37th anniversary of my high school graduation. I'm an old fart, aren't I? Well, anyway, we should be doing 2 more games from the 1976 NC2A tournament. We'll come back with Retro Championship Wrestling Tuesday, Wednesday, the America 250 Super Season, and the Time Travel Baseball League. And then we'll do some more basketball Thursday and more wrestling on Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday I will be standing down because I have a game night function at church on Saturday, and then I will be off at church on Sunday. Well, that's the plan anyway. So let's get back to the ring. This is a very unique bout in RCW history because we have 2 champions going at each other. On the right is George Kidd, who recently became the Eastern champion of RCW, and he's facing the man who unseated El Santo as the Southern champ. That is number 1, Paul Jones. This is a non-title bout, mainly because I think we're going to see multi-title holders with this contenders grid that we're doing. So this will just be a regulation one fall 30-minute time limit. A little battle of champions for everybody, but neither title is at stake. This is just for pecking order on the contenders grid. Kid will have who is called the Houdini of the mat, as you see there, has a sizable disadvantage. He's only about 150 pounds, whereas Paul Jones is like about 235. They'd be about the same height. And Paul Jones just beat Santo, as we were telling you about, and the last bout Kid had was the win over Murcielago Velasquez. So let me see if I can get these bouts in this afternoon. If not, I will just come back and do them tonight. It's 12:20 now. My cutoff is 1 o'clock. Maybe not even 1 o'clock, maybe like 12:45. Just so I don't get wildly engaged into a bout. Okay, am I on display feed? Yes, I was. June 8th is also my favorite singer's birthday, Bonnie Tyler, who has been in Portugal with in a coma due to a burst appendix that she had. They were trying to diagnose uh, a problem with her abdomen. The British doctors couldn't find it, but the Portuguese doctor, she has a home in the Algarve, or Algarve, I guess it might be called. And she has been in a coma now for 4.5 weeks. So we hope Bonnie, her real name is Gaynor Hopkins, will get a speedy recovery. 4.5 weeks is a long time, at least in my mind, to be in a coma, but we'll see how that goes. So the bout has gone 10 minutes. Kid is just dominating with his technical skill. 4 pin attempts to Jones's 1. Neither man cut yet. Of course, we have the World Cup coming up next week in real time. We had the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Carolina Hurricanes 5-4. The Knights were up 4-0. The Hurricanes came all the way back and they went to a second overtime period before the Knights got the win. So they're up 2-1 as I record this. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is going on Monday night, and that has been in the news because President Trump will be attending that, or that is the plan. Backslide by Jones, who is caught up in this bout. It's about dead even. Pin attempts are also dead even. Airplane spin. Kid goes on a whirl, but that does not produce a pin. Starting to look like this may be a draw. Jones is wincing to an arm injury at 24:35, but he should be able to make it through the bout. No blood. Good little battle of champions here just to whet the appetite for the fans. Indian Deathlock could not score it. In the final minute, a suplex. No, this has got to be a draw. Spinning toe hold, well, that occurs after the time limit, so we just don't count that. And it was a 30-minute draw. Good showing by both men in this battle of champions. But it's a good thing it was not a title bout, because a time limit draw would have kept the belt on each party's sides. And near falls 9-7 Jones. So I'm writing this up now. Kid started strong, but Jones rallied And each man will pick up 1 point in the contender grids chase. Now we go on to our Southern tag title bout. Yeah, I think I will get this done on time. So yeah, I was just recording my Pauly perspective video on my civilian channel, Paul Blom, like my full name, and we have a game night coming up Saturday night. And I think I was just telling you about that, wasn't I? I think that when I do these videos, I tend to get a little bit of amnesia as to what it is I talk about, and I talk about the same thing over and over. So I'm going to go on the Walmart store, the online store as they would call it back in the old days, and see if I could get something like Monopoly or Scrabble or something like that. I'll probably just get whatever the cheapest is. Okay, so we're off with this babyface match for the Southern Tag title holders. It's Dos Caras and Mil Mascaras who won the title off of the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, 3 bouts ago, ending their long run as champions. And Jay and Ricky are 2-1-1. Dos and Mil are 2-1-2. I think Youngblood and Steamboat would be just a tad more aggressive than what they normally would be in this bout. Because it's the home ring of Dos and Mil, so I would think that they would kind of play the quasi heel visiting team. I'm a heel only because I'm visiting kind of thing. So this is one fall 60. Title can only change on pinfall or submission. Some double teaming by Jay and Ricky. They are off to a very good start. Flying body press by Dos and Mil, or Mil. We'll say it was Dos because the damage is on an odd number. Another flying body press. Almost gets the pin at 6:07. So they're out aerialing couple of aerial greats in Jay Youngblood, Ricky Steamboat, who had a great feud in Mid-Atlantic circa 1983 with Jack and Jerry Briscoe, who it was the first extended run for the Briscoes to be heels, which culminated at Starrcade. They played the heel category very well, and it wasn't too long after that Jack retired. I want to say either 84 or 85 because they were with the WWF at that point. And we have a cut. Dos punches Steamboat in the nose and drew blood. So I'm typing that up, so that's why I pause, folks. Now the bout is about dead even. Oh, and let me just waive the cut limit rules. I've reset as I'm doing this at a different time than our first 6 bouts, so I reopen the program and it doesn't save the fact that I don't want cuts to stop matches. So we're now almost 20 minutes in. Jay and Ricky, the challengers, have a slight advantage. Flying body press by Ricky, and it gets the pin, and we have brand new Southern Tag Team champions, Dos and Mil. Think it over for a second. They go over, they shake the hands of the new champs, Jay Youngblood, Ricky Steamboat. $21.36. New champs. So the champions were hit a couple of flying body presses of their own, but it was a nice one by Ricky Steamboat that changes the fates of both of these teams. After getting out aerialed. Gets the champs at their own game. So Jay and Ricky, it's the first title they have won in RCW. So now we go on to our World Tag Team Championship bout. The winner will get the Blackjacks next week, I do believe. Just thinking off the top of my head, so don't quote me. So it's the Rock and Roll Express, the two-time World Tag Team Champions. They lost the titles briefly and then bested the kangaroo pairing of Al Costello and Don Kent. The Kalmikoffs, since they are the indie tag champs also, now get to have a manager, and coming to ringside with Ivan and Carol Kalmikoff is Uncle Ivan Koloff, former WWF World Champion. So this is one fall, 60 minutes for the world belts. The indie titles are not up for grabs, but should they win, they will become, the Kalmikoffs win, they will be the World Tag Team Champions. Their indie tag championship will be vacated and it will go to the next highest team at the end of the week that does not currently at the end of the week not have a championship belt. They will be named the acting champions. Great record for the Rock and Roll Express, 12-1-5. They've pretty much beaten the who's who in the tag division here in RCW. The Kalmikoffs are 1-1-1, losing by pin to the Hart Foundation, but they had enough in the rankings to get a rematch, and with that rematch, they scored the pin and the championships. So this will be our last bout of the weekend here on RCW. And the Kalmikoffs get off to a good start with a body slam. But it's the Rock and Roll Express firing back. Knee to the chest does not produce a pin, but it came close for Carol Kalmikoff with a K, with two Ks, actually. It's about even at 5 minutes. The Kalmikoffs already with 3 pin tries to the Rock and Roll Express's 1. Disqualification possible. It is over. It is over, and we have a situation here. The referee gets blindsided. Both wrestlers collide and crash into an ally of the Kalmikoffs. There's that Ivan Koloff, who had been pacing around ringside, enters the ring, picks up opponent, while the Kalmikoffs deliver a specialty move that levels the opponent. As referee slowly recovers, ally scurries out of the ring, and folks, we have brand new World Tag Team title holders. Or do we? The referee saw the pin and reversed the decision. The pin was illegal. The Kalmikoffs were holding the world belts, but the referee snatches the hand back down and says, restart the match. So we will go on, and you wonder if that will prove fatal for the Kalmikoffs in this effort. 11 minutes gone by. So now they're going to have to win it twice. The Express are slightly ahead. in terms of damage. Pinfalls are about even. So we do not have brand new World Tag Team Champions, and my apologies for the error. Chair shot to the face by the Kalmikoffs. That's got to hurt. We have no blood yet. Knee drop off the top ropes by Ivan Kalmikoff. They were the first Russian tag team to hit the American wrestling scene back around the 50s, early 60s. Forearm by, we'll say, Carol Kalmikoff, but that does not get a pin. Double drop kick. Should have produced a winning pin there, but the Kalmikoffs find the ropes with their feet. So we're at 21 minutes, about dead even. Kalmikoff slightly ahead on pin tries. But this match has already produced some interesting tensions, and now we have the Kalmikoffs getting disqualified for refusing to break a hold. So the Kalmikoffs had the titles in their hands, but the referee coming to and seeing that that would have been an injustice, yanked the hand down of victory that the Kalmikoffs had and said, restart the match. We went another about 15, 16 minutes, and the Express are going to win this title bout by DQ. Interesting way to wrap things up here on Retro Championship Wrestling. We'll be back Tuesday with action from the Western Territory. And this has been Big Paulie. Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again soon, and bye-bye for now, everybody.